Good morning. It's Saturday, July 13th, and today I want to talk about what's going on in Israel. But I don't want to talk about what's going on in the south of Israel. I want to talk about what's going on in the north of Israel. Israel is losing the north because they are not paying attention to Hezbollah. Hezbollah has been firing rockets into the country for months. Well, the entire time that Israel has been concentrating on defeating Hamas in the south, they have been bombarded by rockets in the north. And this rocket attack in the north is causing major destruction in that area, with many people having to leave their homes. And the region has become smaller and smaller in size because of these constant rocket attacks in the north. So it's time that Israel got off its ass and did something about Hezbollah in the north. And it's a very difficult situation. I do not know how a country the size of Israel can fight on both sides and win. They need a lot of help and a lot of guidance. And I don't know why they're not getting that help and why they're not getting that guidance. And maybe it's because they feel that they need to show independence to the rest of the world. But this is a serious problem that needs to be corrected quickly. It's right now disrupted the country in the north. Supposedly the population there has dropped by about 40% because people are moving out from the constant rocket attacks that have been launched by Hezbollah. Hezbollah has driven many from their homes, and the once vibrant city of Kiryat Shimona is now a ghost town, and much of that lies in ruins. And some 80,000 Israelis have been displaced or uprooted from their workplaces, their schools, their communities, their local businesses. And the levels of family violence and substance abuse and divorce have risen beyond belief. Yet as the situation deteriorates daily, Israel is doing everything it possibly can do to avoid an all-out war. And its responses to Hezbollah has been limited to the elimination of some of their senior commanders. And an occasional active terrorist cell has been destroyed. But unlike their Israeli counterparts, the Lebanese border towns remain largely unscathed, and the country is rigorously attracting tourists. So here you have a border being destroyed on one side, and the other side is gaining popular tourism because of it. Maybe these people are coming to watch Israel die. So we have constant rocket fire from Lebanese, and the chances of a single missile hitting an army base or a school have increased. And if that happens, Israel would be forced to attack massively. And then they would be at war not only with Hezbollah, but also with Iran and its proxies. And I don't know why anybody thinks they're not at war right now with Iran and its proxies. And if this thing breaks out, large areas areas of Lebanon would be laid to waste. Is that what the world is waiting to see? And of course, the world will blame Israel. Isn't that always the way, that the underdog gets blamed? Especially when the underdog is a Jew? The international media has almost totally ignored Hezbollah's aggression. Or as in the case of the New York Times, it cast the aggression as a retaliation for Israeli attacks. Now, has Israel attacked at all on the north? And Israel has done little to lay any diplomatic groundwork for a large-scale military action. Because if they did that, the world would be very, very upset, I'm sure. Surprisingly, there is an ignorance that lies within Israel itself. Israel doesn't seem to have told its population about the dangerous shortage of medical and firefighting equipment that is necessary to protect its border settlements. And there's no bomb-proof shelters there for their defense. And they're running low on fuel for their generators. So with much of the nation's concentration is understandably focused on Gaza and the hostage crisis, the northern border people are getting what I will call short shrift. Little attention has been paid to their needs. And Israel is eager to play down the fear of war. And many in the north feel that the country has abandoned them. Well, Israel is a small country. How many fronts can they fight on? How can the people in the north not recognize that the fact that they have to speak out and alert the government of their need? And maybe they got to step up to the plate also and do some fighting on their own. But they probably don't have the wherewithal to do that. So if we look at the big picture, the fight on the south has caused a split in this nation that it can ill afford to have. The north has been overlooked because of the activities necessary to put an end to Hamas on the south. And this in turn has allowed Hezbollah to continue to grow on the north. And it has decimated that region. And that region must feel like the awful stepchild. But I don't know what Israel can do. How many fronts can they fight on? How many people do they have that they can continue to be surrounded by enemies and continue to be rocketed all the time? This, in my mind, is a monumental conundrum, a situation that I see no resolution coming in the near future. Israel must depend on allies in order to survive. And I think the ally population is under attack around the world. So I leave you with these distressing facts this morning and hope you can have a great day in spite of it. Take care. Bye.